Alright, so this is probably the typical amount of money that you have to spend for a single YouTube thumbnail. But if you want to have an A/B testing on your video, then you have to double or triple the amount because you need to create 2 or even 3 more thumbnails. And that can be very expensive, especially if you're just starting out. So instead, I do recommend to use an AI tool that is able to generate various thumbnails for your YouTube videos. So you can maintain your own face. You can use various expressions or poses. You can also keep your own branding or tonality in the thumbnails, and this process or this workflow is going to save you time, money, and of course it is just a workflow that you can build once, but you can reuse it over and over again. So in this video, I'll show you the workflow that I use that's able to generate multiple thumbnails for any video using AI. So the tool that we are going to use is called freepik.com, and there are several features in this platform that we are going to explore in this video. And by the way, if you don't have any account on this platform, you can check the link in the description or perhaps the comment down below. Now, here, what we need to do is we want to create a picture that contains multiple panels that shows your face or perhaps a character face in various expressions or poses. So this is actually a common practice that people use their face in their YouTube thumbnails, but this is not exactly mandatory, so you can skip this process. But for this video, we'll include that anyway. Now for that, I'll just navigate to the image generator feature, but later we are going to use a feature called Spaces in freepik.com. It is the feature that lets you build this kind of workflow, which kind of looks very complicated, but trust me, it is very easy to build. Anyway, let me just continue. So here I will generate a picture that basically looks like this. It's just the same person or the same character, but with different expressions and poses. So I'm going to select image generator, and for the model, I'll select GPT Image 2, which is the latest image model from OpenAI. You can use other models, but I would say this model is just the best at the moment. And here, for the reference, I'll click Add, and I will upload my own image. So there's a character that I'm going to use in this video. Let me check my folder, and it's gonna be this woman. Okay, I'm going to click Add. And then for the prompt, you can get the prompt from the description down below. So this is the prompt that I will use. It will generate a picture that contains 6 different expressions. And for the aspect ratio, I prefer 16:9. For the quality, I think for the resolution is 1K is totally fine, but for the quality I prefer to use high. And after that, you can click generate and just wait for it to generate the picture that contains multiple expressions that could fit for a YouTube thumbnail. Anyway, this process might take 1 to 5 minutes. I'll just skip forward and I'll show you the next steps that you need to do. Alright, so I got this result. So this is a single picture, but it contains 6 different panels representing 6 different expressions. And by the way, the expressions and poses are defined in the prompt, but if you wish to use something that looks different, then feel free to modify the prompt. Anyway, let's continue. So the next thing that we need to do is we have to start creating a space. So let's navigate to the space menu. And then I'm going to click this button that says new space. Okay, and this is the part that maybe some of you might consider to be a bit difficult, but trust me, creating this workflow is not difficult at all. So first, I'm going to click this plus button, and then I'm going to select text. So this is where you can insert your video draft or your video script, ideally the script or transcription, because it will provide enough context to AI about the kind of thumbnail that might be relevant for the video. So let's call this one, let's say video script. Okay, and I guess for the script, I'm going to insert my own script. There is a script for sort of gardening tips for people who live in an apartment. Okay, I'm going to just copy and paste them right here. Okay, it's just the script. Now, the next thing that we need to do is we have to connect this text to a new node in this workflow. So I'm going to click this and then drag it anywhere. And then you have to select assistant. Okay, now this is the prompt that will tell AI about what it needs to do to, create a prompt for the image generation based on the script and also based on the other things that we will include later. But for now, let's just focus on this node. So this is the prompt that I'm going to use, and basically you can specify a lot of things like your style, your text, color, and some other things. So down here there are some square brackets that let you specify perhaps the brand colors, the font style, and some other info that might be relevant for your type of thumbnail. And also you can select the number of images, which is in this case 4 images, but you can create 4, 5, 10 or even 20 images if you want to. So you can change this number that says 4, you can replace it with something else. Now for the model, I prefer to use Cloud Sonnet because I think that model is just, I would say, a lot better for meta prompting. And for the export as text, you have to replace it to export as list. And then the next thing that we need to do is we have to click this and then click you have to click the text node and then connect it to the list node. Okay, so at the moment this is going to be fully empty and it will show the prompts after or when we run the workflow. So at the moment it is completely empty and that is totally fine. Now before we continue, we actually want to provide some context to AI about what kind of prompts that might be relevant for the video. So first we have provided the script, that's a good start, but for me, I actually want to provide some other context, like maybe the face of the character, the items that might appear or to be featured in the video, and also the layout or template that AI must follow. So here, I'm going to click this plus button, and then I'm going to select media, and I'll select upload. So here, I will select the I forgot the name, the template or the layouts. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 thumbnails or layouts or structure that can be applied later. I'm going to just upload them. Now, if you're wondering where do I got these templates, well, I actually just AI to generate those for me, and those are actually created using the SVG capability in some AI tools like in Cloud AI and also in Gemini. And by the way, if you are interested, I'm going to provide the prompt that you can use to create this kind of preview using either Gemini or Cloud AI. It is very cool and it is based on the layouts that are very popular on YouTube, so you can check them out. And by the way, let me just continue. So I guess I'm going to just group them into one node to make them simpler. So you can select all of them and then click group. And there you go. So let's connect this to the prompt right here. So we have to connect this group into the assistant node. And let me just call it, let's say, thumbnail layouts. Okay, that's pretty good. Now, after that, I'm going to add another context, which is perhaps the items that could appear in the thumbnail or the image that will be created by AI. So I'm going to click this plus button again. And then I'm going to select upload, and then I'll select these 4 items. There are potting mix, and then grow lights, and also there is the basil plant. I'm going to just upload them. And again, I'll just group them into one node to make them easier to organize. All right, maybe I'm going to use a different color. Let's use the green color. There you go, it looks good. So I'm going to move them maybe slightly up. And I'm going to connect this to, connect the whole group with the assistant node right here. And there you go. And then lastly, I'm going to provide the face of the character, which is the picture that we just created earlier using the classic image generator. So for that, I'm going to click this plus button, and then I'm going to select asset because that's a picture that we created. So that's why it's called asset. So I'm going to click this. And then add, and maybe I'm going to put it here. Okay, let me just zoom in. Let me just connect the image to the system, and there you go. So after that, you'll see that it's going to connect to the system is going to connect to the let's call this one items, and then let's call that face picture to be the character faces. Yep, so there are 3 items or 3 contexts that we just provided to this AI assistant, which is the items, the face, and also the thumbnails layouts. Anyway, let's continue. So here in the list node, we want to click this text icon again, and then drag it anywhere, and then after that you can select image generator. All right, so for the model, I will choose sorry about that, let me just click this. Okay, that's kind of strange. Let me just try it again. Okay, now I'm going to select GPT Image 2, which is the latest image model from OpenAI, but feel free to use a different model. And for the aspect ratio, of course, 16:9 is a standard on YouTube. And the resolution, you can go with 4K, but I think 1K is fine at the moment. All right, so that's going to be the workflow. Actually, we have to add something. Let me just drag it up here. All right, so it's kind of difficult. Now, we're not done yet because we actually have to provide the context, which is the items, faces, and layouts to this image generator node. So it will know exactly the things that we are referring to. So here, I'm going to just connect the image of the image node, the group image node from that thumbnail layouts into the image generator as a reference. Okay, and then I will do the same for this character face. And then I'll do the same thing for the items. And there you go. So that's basically the whole workflow. It looks kind of complicated, but if you actually watch this video, you will see that it is actually very easy to build. So to test this out, we can start with the video script, and then you want to click it, and then click this button to start running the workflow. Click it and just wait until it finishes. So it might take quite a while given that I want to create 4 different images. So just be patient, and after that you'll see the results somewhere in this area. So anyway, I'll just skip a while and I'll show you the results. Alright, so I got this result. As you can see, I got various different thumbnail layouts and style, but it is still using the same face, the same character. And I would say it is quite decent. Now, it is not perfect. I can see that there are some problems, like maybe the text and the background is not quite contrast enough. And also, there are some layouts that are not quite relevant for that particular type of video. So there is something that you have to constantly modify and customize to make sure that the prompts and the context are relevant to your type of content. Now, what if you want to rerun this workflow again? Well, it's quite easy. So down here in the list node, that was that's after the image generator node, you can either choose to keep the items or replace the items. So if you select replace the items, then on your next run, these images will be removed. It's still available in your assets, but it will be removed from this list node. But if you select keep items, then these items won't be removed on your next run. So that's one distinction, especially when you're using the list node. So for this list node that contains the prompt, I will actually just change the setting to replace items. And I guess I want to change or add something to my prompt, which is perhaps using a dark background, a dark color text. So I guess I'm going to change the system a little bit. Okay, so maybe I want to add an extra description that I prefer dark colored text. There you go. And again, if you want to rerun the whole thing, then you can start from the video script node and then click this again. And then just wait until you got the next iteration of the thumbnails. Alright, so apparently it is done and I got 4 new thumbnails that I would say look a lot better than the previous ones. So the text is now becoming much more readable. It is a lot more contrast. So I would say the quality has been improved a little bit. And that's by just changing one simple setting in the prompt. But of course, there are many other things that you can customize in this workflow. I mean, you can change the color, the style, and also you can use a different image. And by the way, if you want to use a different character or context, you can right click on that image and then you can select content and then you can click replace creation, and after that you can choose a different image that you want to use on this workflow. So it's very easy, and not to mention you can save money by not hiring a very expensive thumbnail designer. So this is a great choice for someone who just starting out on YouTube. So anyway, I hope you learned something from this video, and if you do like this video and you want to see other cool things that you can do with AI, then you can check out this video up here, and I'll see you there.